There's a song on the album, it's called The Crying Light, and the album is called The Crying Light too. Why specifically this song as a name for the album?
The album is dedicated to a wonderful Japanese dancer. His name is Kazuo Ohno. He's one of the founders of Butoh dance, and Butoh is it obviously derives from traditional Japanese dance and performance forms of kabuki and no theater, but was also informed by like the nuclear holocaust in Japan in World War II, and German expressionism and Jean Genet's writings, and a lot of things, experimental theater ideas from the 60s, to create this dance form Butoh, which is kind of about transcending the human form and sort of embodying different aspects of the natural world, amongst other things. And or that's one of the preoccupations of the dance. And Kazuo Ohno was someone that I've been aware of since my late teens, and someone who I've really looked to for inspiration and almost as a kind of guide for me as an artist. Like I saw him perform a couple times in the 90s, and what's interesting about him is that he, among other things, he converted to Catholicism in his 50s, which is interesting for an Eastern artist to convert to Catholicism, but I think he was interested, this is just my guess, in sort of the more devotional, kind of ecstatic aspect of Catholicism, because a lot of the Eastern spiritual faiths can be quite stoic.
Yeah.
And I think as a performer, he was interested in something with more abandon. And when he performs, he sort of steps, it's sort of like when he stepped onto the stage, it's almost some of the stuff we were talking about, he kind of, in the safety of the stage, or the sanctuary of the stage, his spirit starts to emerge, like his child self, the spirit of his mother, the spirit of his grandmother, the spirit of a woman dancer who's his great hero. He pays a kind of a homage to these notions or these ghosts, and they sort of embody him, envelop him, and he gets lost in a reverie. And it's very moving to have watched him perform. And in a way, the idea of crying light is sort of something, it's something like that, and also something that, like what we were talking about taking care of the child and creating a safe space inside yourself in which one can start to emerge. It's something that I've done in my life, you know. Because you need safety in order to feel safe enough to have your feelings. You don't have feelings when you're in shock or you're in trauma.
Yeah.
You know, you sit there and shake, and then one day, when you feel safe, the relief can come. And that's the way that I have grown. The way I've developed, you know, I've walked through my grief, and that's the way that I can start to grow and face a new day. So the crying light kind of is sort of that idea, is carve out a space for yourself. I take a space for myself. I create a safe space where I can start to grow.
And you say that this is for you, this album is, well, you said Crying Light. Light meaning the light for you, meaning that you can, that you feel at ease, and that you can cry.
You can cry, you can laugh,
you can have, you can feel
the abandon of your feelings, and be kind of almost through the eyes of a child. You know, it's kind of a joyful place.
But I think that's for you now you feel, can I say that you feel more at ease now than ever in your life with this album and with the way you are now?
I don't really think of things in terms like that, you know. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into making work, and part of it obviously is very personal, and it comes from your sense of your inner life, and it meets a lot of things in the external world too, and oftentimes it becomes transformed in that process. And it's difficult for me to make deductions about my personal life from the body of work that I'm presenting, you know. my life is all over the place. You know, it's up and down and around and around.
No, I was thinking maybe just for you now. I think you're feeling.
This
happy now.
album definitely reflects the mood and considerations that have preoccupied me in my 30s.
Yeah.
You know, the last album was really comprised of songs I wrote in my mid-20s. So I'm certainly in a different state of mind than I was. I'm in a different point in my development. And, you know, it's just another point on a line, you know.
Okay. We have to stop, I think.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.